Hello, and welcome to Navigating Turbulent Times with NIPIGON, a place where we answer your questions about the Corps, cadets in general, and ourselves. My name is Lieutenant Navy Laura Hood, and I'm the Unit Training Officer and your host. I'm staying home to talk to cadets, staff, and special guests about their cadet experience. Tune in weekly for updates as we navigate these waters together.
There you go.
So welcome to another episode of Navigating Turbulent Times with NIPIGON. Of course, I am your host, Lieutenant Navy Laura Hood, and this week I am joined by two of our current cadets and familiar faces of 3401 NIPIGON, the Gallant brothers, or Chief Petty Officer Second Class Cody Gallant and Petty Officer Second Class Riley Gallant. So thank you so much for agreeing to come on to our show this week.
No problem.
Excellent. I'm wondering if we could start by perhaps you guys give me a brief introduction of yourself.
Yeah, of course, I'm Chief Petty Officer Second Class Gallant. I am in charge of training for NIPIGON, and yeah, that's about it. I've been here for almost 5 years, I would say, in September. So
Yeah.
I've been here all throughout. Those are almost good years.
I'm Petty Officer Second Class Gallant. I've been here since 2017. I am usually at the bell, dinging and speaking very loud. That's really all I know.
Yeah, you're the quartermaster. Super important job. You have to keep it pretty together.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What have you guys been up to during this lockdown that we've been experiencing here in New Brunswick?
Yeah, so I've been just really working on schoolwork and stuff like that, doing physical activity, walking outside, getting some garden work, getting everything set up for the summer, looking good.
I've been doing the usual schoolwork, playing video games, playing with my drone, doing a bunch of workout, and annoying my brother.
Oh, maybe you guys are getting ready for like biathlon season or something with all your workouts. Can you guys tell us what you're involved in at the unit? What kind of teams or trips or things like that have you guys been involved in?
Oh boy, I'm practically a part of everything. So I do biathlon, marksmanship, drill band. I've been in the sports team for the provincial team over there, and yeah, I've been through everything. So
I've been mostly just doing drill and biathlon. Like before biathlon. I'm now in band and drill only. And I've been here since 2017, so that makes it almost about 3 years. And that's really all I've been doing.
Yeah, so you guys definitely keep busy with all of the aspects of the cadet program. The Gallant brothers are also very well known to lend a hand and volunteer with all of our community service events. That's always highly appreciated and, of course, a super important aspect of the cadet program. So I, as well as I'm sure you as well, were very disappointed but understanding when we heard that CTC was going to be canceled this summer and things were going to look very different. However, you guys have been very fortunate in your training at HMCS Acadia. And I'm wondering if you could maybe give those cadets who you haven't experienced that yet a bit of an insight as to your training. So maybe Chief Gallant, you are a sailor. So maybe we will start with you and what kind of training you've received at Acadia.
yeah, of course. So I last year actually I did senior sales. So I went through like the whole setup to going into making staff. So I did get accepted for staff this year for sail. So you do a lot of things. You do a lot of learning about wind and the temperature and all the how it affects how you sail. You just learn the basics at start when you do a basic sail. So you get to learn how to navigate and stuff like that. And then eventually through your progression, through your sail levels, you get more complicated things, different techniques for maneuvers and stuff like that. They'll make you go faster. And then a senior sail, and some people that want to progress and do advanced sail, they can definitely, you'll learn how to race and how to go to regattas and, how to compete in actual like big, competitions like regattas like, Cork or, the cadet national team.
Yeah, and you got to do a couple of regattas this summer, and I understand you may have had some good success at one of them.
Yeah, I did. I did a Halifax one. We do that every year in senior sail. We do a civilian regatta, and me and my teammate, we got third place out of around 30, 40 boats. So it was
That's
very,
very impressive.
oh yeah.
And lots of fun, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. A lot of wind, you know.
Yeah, so then Petty Officer Gallant also followed a trade that requires a lot of water, but you also took a different hands-on approach as well. So do you want to talk to us about your seamanship training at Acadia?
Yes, ma'am. At Acadia, we've been doing a bunch of seamanship with flags for communications, radio for communications, and with basic, you get to learn the starter pack of what you do with seamanship. Sometimes you go on whalers where you could row, sail, or motorboat. And when you get to SBO, you get to start playing with the SRWs, and those are fast and fun.
Yes, they are very fast. So you would have also received, you both would have, I guess, your pleasure craft operators cards, and your radio, first aid, all of those things at Acadia.
Yep.
So those are just some of the skills that people can achieve while they're on their summer training course.
Of course, of course.
Yes. So as you progress up the ranks, there's many opportunities that can arise in the program that as senior cadets, you guys can take advantage of. So Chief Gallant, you've been very fortunate to be able to take part in two deployments, with the program. And recently this fall, you got to take part in a Royal Canadian Navy deployment. I wonder if you can tell us a little bit about what that was like, experiencing life with the Navy.
Yeah, of course. You know, I was fortunate to actually do, Remembrance Day with them as well. So it's very fortunate. So, we met them in Quebec, and then so we boarded the ship. You know, they gave us a few briefings with the commanding officer and the coxswain. They told us all the safety stuff, and then we got set in on our racks. You know how it works a little bit, and then we got there. A little bit after noon. So we learned what the etiquette kind of thing on a naval ship. It's normally like just like a walk-in. You get your food, you sit, but there's just something you have to learn. It's not always, you don't always get, self-serve. You just go, you walk in like a cafeteria. That's what it's like. And then after that, we kind of relaxed a little bit, took a breather for a little bit. It's a different kind of environment. And then we actually stayed at the dock for the first night. And then, it was kind of fun just getting squeezed in the little can, but it wasn't too bad. The second day we actually got to learn, different positions in the boat, different, how the boat works really. So we went in the engine room and we talked with the engineers and, the lead officer in charge of the engineers. She showed us all part of the engine and all that stuff while we were actually at sea. And then, we went on the bridge, we talked with all like the navigators and like bosuns too. We talked about, knot tying, different things like that you have to know. And then actually that night we actually were able to actually go and actually work with them and ask questions, show what they do. There's some people that went on the bridge and actually steered the boat. And I was fortunate to do that as well. I talked to the person that was in charge of officer of the day, and he talked to me about what he does. He's in charge of the boat. So, a lot of good experiences, got a lot of good techniques that I learned that I can even put into cadets, but in the future.
Yeah, it sounds like you're really integrated into the crew of the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Petty Officer Gallant, you are a very well-deported cadet. You take yourself and your uniform very seriously. I'm wondering if you can give a uniform tip to some of the junior cadets that might be watching.
Yes, ma'am. So my favorite part about my uniform is my boots, because that does all the stomping. I want to keep them perfect. So what I do is I shine them, like the usual shine in circles, little then big. Then after, to keep them clean and without dust, I put one of my clean gloves and put them over the boot so there's no dust on them.
Now, do you use a specific type of polish to shine your boots?
Usually only black polish, but
Right.
I usually buy the kiwi.
Kiwi, yeah. Perfect. Thank you for that tip. It's really important to get to do the small circles and then the big ones. Like, it's important to get all that in there so the polish gets in your boot really well. So, Chief Gallant, you are graduating high school this year in a very different way than the usual way we do things. So, what are your plans for after you graduate and after you age out of cadets next year?
Yeah, so my goal is to go to college, of course. And then after that, I want to join the Navy. So I'll actually be integrated, like when I'm on my deployment, but in real life, like actually going and, helping people out in the world.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you for sharing that, and we wish you the best of luck with all of those things as well. So eventually, this lockdown, this quarantine has to end, and we will be able to actually see each other in person again and be back to cadets. What's something that you're really looking forward to, hopefully in the fall?
I mean, for me,
or civilian.
For me, it's just, getting back to, what I like doing the best and is cadets. I like the atmosphere, and I really miss the atmosphere of having, we're kind of like a family. So the families, really, it means a lot. So when I can't wait to get back and, have fun and, do the things that we usually do, teach people new things that they haven't learned and, make people's day and stuff like that.
Yeah. What about you, Petty Officer Gallant?
One is I like to see my friends again, face to face instead of on mic. See the cadets again, continue doing, my favorite part of cadets is like drill and knots. And also to not be stuck in the same room as my brother all day.
Yeah, that would definitely be difficult. I was talking to a couple of siblings on last week's episode about that as well, and they are currently in the same vicinity, and they're looking forward to being able to just spread out a little bit more, which is very understandable. So I would like to thank you so much for joining us this week on Navigating Turbulent Times with NIPIGON. As always, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please send your questions to our Instagram page at 341NIPIGON or via our Facebook page, 341NIPIGON, to ask questions and suggest guests for the future. Thank you for joining us. Until next week.